Welcome to the Stop Dieting podcast, hosted by best-selling, award-winning author and renowned weight loss expert, David Medansky. If you struggle to lose weight or you've lost weight and gained it back, you'll want to listen each week. Each week, you will learn tips for healthy weight loss without going on a diet, without having to follow an exercise program, without counting calories, or having to purchase special meals or products. The Stop Dieting podcast is more than just about healthy and sustainable weight loss. You will also learn how you can have more energy, feel better, get rid of brain fog, and improve your overall health. Stay tuned for another informative and insightful episode. And if you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe and share this with your friends.
Hello, everyone. This is David Medansky. I'm your host of Stop Dieting. Today we have a special guest, Chris Greenbank, or it's pronounced Greenbank, correct?
Yeah.
Where are you located, Chris?
I'm in Stockport, near Manchester in England.
That's great. Well, thank you for being a guest on the show today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your health journey?
Oh, thank you very much for having me on. I'm, as David said, my name's Chris Greenbank, and I'm from Stockport in England. I'm 36 years old. I've got 2 children, and for the past 18 years, I've worked in the stone industry, fabricating and installing granite and quartz, marble, countertops, as you call them over there, worktops. And I went self-employed a couple of years ago. I thought, it's going to be great. I'll work for myself, be my own boss finally. What I found was, instead of having one boss, I had about 20 bosses because I was subcontracting for various companies. And I was like, this isn't all it's cracked up to be. And I found myself doing the work, but then taking pictures every single day of the work of these beautiful jobs that I was doing. But I was burnt out, really burnt out, exhausted. And even though I was going to boxing and do and that kind of thing, and I'm in a mindset program, so I was still taking care of my mind, but not my nutrition, if you like. And I was doing like 15, 16, 17 hour days, carrying heavy stone, and I wasn't doing myself any favors. In the end, I made myself sick, and I was in and out of work for like over a month. I had a chest infection, and then I got COVID. I even hate that word. And then just as I thought I was getting better, I got norovirus as well, and that put me straight back in bed. I don't know if you're familiar with norovirus or whether it's even the same thing over there. Is it called the same thing?
I'm not sure. They have different strains on the side.
Everything seems to have different names, and but it was like a nasty stomach bug anyway. So I was lay in bed thinking, stressing myself out even more because, one, I didn't have work coming in, but I was sick, and I don't have time off unless I really need to. And I was thinking, I've got no money coming in here. I need to get back to work, but I'm sick. I need to find a backup plan, but I also need to work on my health. So, because it was as if my immune system was like, no, stop. You need to change something and change it fast.
Well, before that, how was your eating habits? Were they healthy or unhealthy?
Because I was on the road a lot. I found myself one convenience eating, so pulling into a garage, as we call them, gas station, as you call them over there, pulling into garages and just getting meal deals. So it'd be like a sandwich and a bag of chips, and then a coffee, like a Starbucks or a Costa coffee. I don't actually know how I afforded it. Never mind, like afforded it health wise. And
were you gaining a lot of weight from eating the?
I was gaining. Yeah, I was gaining a lot of weight, but as you know, when you're not getting the correct nutrients in your body, you're not functioning in the same way.
How was your energy level?
Oh, awful. That was one of the most upsetting things for me, because when I have my children at weekend, or if I have chance to have them through the week, I was having to sit in the house with them and like recover rather than go out on adventures and have fun and do stuff that they thrive off. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. So instead of being bored and sitting in front of the tube, as you call it, the TV, you wanted to be outside being active with the kids, correct?
Yeah, but because I was so exhausted and burnt out, I didn't have the energy for it. And I thought at the time that we were spending good time together. But then while I was and I was having a Snicker at least every other day, and just eating terrible stuff.
So what happened to change your life around?
Well, when I come to the end of this period where I was sick, I was looking online and I need to sort my health out, but I need a backup plan. I need to create another stream of income so I've got a backup plan if I ever get to this point again, but also for a bit of security anyway. If I want a day off or something, I've still got another source of income. So I was looking online and I found a page called the Side Hustle Secret, which is actually a company that was set up by a man in Australia, Lloyd Ross, and his wife Alicia, and it's actually a funnel to the Isagenix products. So I was accepted on this Side Hustle Secret page, and I watched the Money Masterclass, and I was blown away by the way Lloyd simplifies stuff is incredible, and I was like, that's amazing. So I can improve my health and then earn money from helping other people improve their life.
So you signed up for the Isagenix products?
Yeah.
And so how did that affect your life and change you?
Oh my goodness. I had all this energy, and I've always been quite health conscious, but then the very first day of the first lockdown, my daughter was born. So all my my boxing and my running and my nutrition, all these good habits that I'd created prior to the COVID era, or whatever we're going to call it, had gone out the window because my priorities changed.
Yeah, that's what I usually tell people, is that when we're younger, we're fit and trim and healthy. However, life gets in the way, between work responsibilities and family obligations. And before you know it, either you're not exercising as much or you're eating more convenience foods, as you mentioned, or doing both, not exercising and eating more convenient food. And that's what happened with me. That's how, the weight crept up on me. So you started taking the Isagenix. How long ago was that?
Probably about 6 months. It's not been long at all.
And you've noticed a big improvement in your energy. How about your mental clarity? Has that improved also?
Oh, night and day. Like I say, I was already in a mindset program, but because I was burning out from work and not having the energy to implement all these things that I wanted to do, it's just ideas. If you've not got the nourishment, the nutrients, and the energy to fuel it, it's just ideas. So then when I started on the products, after only a couple of days, I had bags of energy. Like I signed up for a 10K a week after I started on the products without any training, just to see if I could do it. So I did this race. I even got my daughter out of a stroller to carry her across the finish line with me, which was amazing. And then I've just gone from strength to strength and helping other people improve their lives. I've got friends that I've been helping. I got back in the boxing ring. I hadn't had a boxing match since before any of the COVID stuff either.
Well, let's talk about the Isagenix product a little bit. There's many different products with Isagenix. Which products are you actually taking?
So since I signed up, I've had a premium pack every month. You get 4 bags of shakes, which is enough for the month. You get snacks for throughout the day, and then you get different supplements. But I can't remember which one does it, but it does something with your cortisol levels, so it helps to reduce your stress levels and improve your sleep. And what I found with that is, even when I don't get enough sleep, say 7-8 hours, my quality of sleep is far better. So I'm sleeping a lot deeper, and I feel rested when I wake up.
And do you find that you're spending less money on eating, than you did before?
100%. Like I said, because I was doing long hours and pulling into garages for meal deals on a 15-hour day, I might have spent maybe £10 just on coffees. No, never mind meal deals. But I mean, I was smoking still as well till the end of last year, and I knocked that on the head. I've not had a drink for 17 months. It doesn't even appeal to me now.
So how long has it been since you stopped smoking?
Probably about 10 months.
Okay, so you stopped smoking, you stopped drinking, you started putting better fuel into your body with the Isagenix products. You're spending less money on food and feeding yourselves. You have more energy, better mental clarity. It sounds like you're heading in the right direction.
100%. I've never had so much clarity, and I think it's a combination of all of it. I mean, you could have 2 people and give them the same products, but if one's got a poor attitude and one wants to go after it and go for a run every day and meditate every day like I've been trying to do, then one of them's going to get far superior results.
So you're also saying mindset is very important?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, well that sounds good.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who want to have a $20 million bank account with $50 habits. It doesn't work, does it?
No, I understand that. What What would you say is the biggest difference in switching to Isagenix as far as drinking beverages? Are you drinking more water, or what type of beverages are you consuming now?
I don't really drink fizzy drinks.
We call those sodas and diet sodas.
Yeah. I don't. I don't really drink sodas. Occasionally, so I just have water or my shakes.
Okay.
Or
so drink the shakes and the water.
Yeah, or the pre-workout. I'll have the pre-workout before a big run.
Are you still doing the stone work?
Yeah, but not as frequently. I've noticed that. Sorry.
Are you finding it easier to manage the workload with doing the stone work than before?
Yeah, 100%. But I've also realised that the healthier you are and the more respect you end up having for yourself, the less you tolerate. And I've quickly found that I don't even like the work. I like how the jobs look at the end of it. But I feel like since I've been helping people through enrolling them and seeing their health transformations, I feel like I've found my purpose.
Well, that's great. How's your relationship with the kids now? Has it improved?
Night and day. Like it's not that we had a bad relationship, but it definitely has a great impact when you're getting out on adventures. Like I signed up for a 10K run, and I did it with my daughter on my back in a carrier.
People 10K with your. How old was your daughter?
2.
So you carried your 2-year-old daughter on your back during a 10K run.
Yeah, and I made sure we both got a medal for it.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, she loved it. People were looking at me like I was mad before the race, but then really happy and congratulating us at the end and everything. It was pretty an amazing experience to share.
With Isagenix, you are also doing that as a business, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you're starting to make some money through Isagenix products?
Starting to, yeah.
And what would you like to tell the audience about Isagenix and possibly, taking the products? How can they reach out to you?
They can find me on Facebook, Chris Greenbank, or on Instagram, Rediscovering Chris. It's rediscovering_Chris. And I've been more than happy and excited to help people get similar transformations. I couldn't really speak more highly. Like even down to the customer service. If you've got an issue, you just phone them up and they'll sort it out for you. But the way that it's improved my energy and quality of life, it's worth its weight in gold.
Now, are you also on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Okay, I believe that's where we connected with each other.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it is where we connected. Yeah, that was awesome.
Well, that's great. So you're 37 right now, correct?
37 in February.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I had my own weight loss journey where at age 61, I was told by my doctor, which was in 2016, that based on my lab results and being significantly overweight, I had a 95% chance for a fatal heart attack.
Oh, wow.
So he gave me 2 options. He said, lose weight or find a new doctor. And he gave me the option. He suggested I find a new doctor because he had been after me for 8 years to lose the weight. And I hadn't done anything. Like most people, I procrastinated. I'll start on Monday. I'll start after the holidays. I'll start after vacation. I'll start next week. Whatever I could do to procrastinate and delay is what I did until it was like the wake-up call. I was like, okay, I got to do something. So in 2016, I shed 50 pounds,
wow.
25% of my body weight. More importantly, I've kept the weight off. and that's what amazing. I like to help people do. So, and then at age 67, this, past June, I was 67 in April, but in June I went and hiked Kilimanjaro.
That's amazing. How was that?
It was exciting. It was a lot of fun. It's hard. Anybody that says that it's easy is lying to you. And it really wasn't so much fun as it was a lot of hard work. However, I met 5 other gentlemen and 6 other people in a different group, men and women, and we just had a great time, doing the hike together.
That's another thing that I love about when you get fitter and healthier, the conversations are different. You're around different people. You're not sat talking about Jerry Springer and what's on the news and chaos and doom and gloom. It's upbeat, and when you get out on a run, people are friendly and let onto each other. I don't know, it just creates a much nicer and happier environment.
Do you find people are more supportive of each other? I know that's what on Kilimanjaro on the hike, we were all supporting each other. Do you find that when you're doing your runs and your boxing and other physical activities?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't have won my fight last month in the way that I did had I not had such an amazing team.
Have you had much of residual effects from having COVID and the other variant of the virus?
No. Touch wood. I've not felt sick at all since I've been using the products and taking care of myself.
That's fantastic. What else would you like to tell the audience about yourself or Isagenix or anything in general about being healthy?
I was actually going to touch on something a coach of mine said the other week, and I was saying like I wasn't enjoying my work and stuff, and we got onto the conversation about the ancient success formula for be, do, have, to be the person of your vision, to do what they do, and then you're going to have the life that they have. And it made me think a lot about tolerating stuff and the way you carry yourself and implement things that person in your vision would implement, reading and meditating, going for runs. Like I said before, you're not going to have the $100 million life with the $20 habits.
Have you read many books on health and nutrition or fitness?
Not as many as I'd like.
Which one book that you read has made an impact on you?
I like more books like the Law of Attraction books.
Okay.
The Alchemist and the Secret, Asking It Is Given. Think and Grow Rich has been sat here for a while, and I've still not got through that. But
have you read The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews?
I haven't.
I would highly recommend that. It's a quick read. It took me about 3 hours to get through the whole book.
Oh, really?
It's one of those books I call it life-changing, and plus I was unable to put it down. So I highly recommend that. That's The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews. Andy Andrews was homeless for about 5 years. He lived in under a bridge, and we go to the library and read biographies and autobiographies, and he would write to famous people, and they were actually writing back to him, and he started compiling informations, and so it's a fascinating book. Highly recommend that. There's another book called Ikigai, Ikigai. It's a Japanese word. Have you heard of that?
I haven't, no.
Okay,
sorry, can you spell it again? Sorry.
Sure. It's Ikigai,
K-I-G-A-I.
And it's a Japanese word, and it means purpose of life.
Oh, nice.
And it's about the people in Okinawa, Japan, who live to be, 100 plus years in very good health and very active. Very fascinating book. And so I highly recommend that book also.
Nice, thank you. I'll look them up.
Yeah, that's also a quick read and an easy read.
Right. What kind of habits do you implement for mindset? Do you have like a morning routine that you stick to?
I do. It's a lot more than just mindset. It's habits and routines I've developed over the last 5 years. The first thing I do when I get up in the morning is drink 20 ounces of water.
Okay.
And I hydrate because what I learned is 75% of the U.S. population is chronically dehydrated, which means they don't drink enough water. And there's a direct correlation to people being overweight because 72% of the U.S. adult population is overweight and 42% is clinically obese. What happens a lot of times is people think they're hungry when they're actually thirsty.
I remember reading that you think you're hungry and then you go and eat, but you're actually just dehydrated.
Yeah, thirsty. And so people are, our bodies are 60 to 70% water, if not soda or diet soda or fruit juices or fruit flavored beverages. So that's why I advocate drinking, more water. And that's the first thing I do in the morning. And also I learned in my research for the books I've written that 80% of our thoughts are negative. So I teach people how to turn those negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And that makes a big difference in how you approach something. So instead of saying, being dreadful of having to, lose the weight, everything I put into my body is, for nourishment and for the higher, good. So it just changed how you approach things, the words. And I've identified what I call the 9 golden rules of weight loss. And I'll go through them real fast for you so the audience also knows what they are, Chris. And that is drink water, avoid the fake foods. You mentioned the meals in a box and the Snickers and other. Eat more of the real foods, holistic foods. Get adequate sleep because sleep's very important, at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Eat small portions. Eat slow. We're all in a rush. We're all in a hurry. So we tend to gulp our food. A lot of times we'll be not even paying attention to what we're eating because we're either working or driving or watching TV. And next thing we know, the sandwich is gone or the bag of chips or bag of pretzels is empty. It's like, well, where did it go? Because we consumed it without realizing it. Get more sleep, have a positive mindset. And physical activity, I suggest people walk each day an hour. If they can't do an hour, break it up into segments, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Rebel Wilson, the actress, lost 77 pounds in a year simply walking an hour each day on the advice of her doctor. She did that. And then Mindy Kalis, what she does is instead of texting or doing social media, when she gets a 10-minute break, she'll go for a walk. And if she does that 4 or 5 times a day, she's getting in 40 or 50 minutes of exercise. So the whole idea I'm trying to get across to people is you don't need to, set aside an hour or two to get your physical activity in. You can do it in small increments throughout the day, and it all adds up.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people just think, I need to do this to lose weight. It's not even just about that. It's waking your body up and preparing yourself on a cellular level and getting your mind going, and it just makes you feel good.
Exactly. It's what I tell people is you want to lose weight, don't go on a diet, change your diet.
Yeah.
And you were, fortunate you were to find Isagenix, and the products are really high quality and you benefit from it. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, from what I've heard from a very good friend of mine, Amanda, she said that the one shake has the equivalent in nutrients as 2 or 3 wholesome plates of food. So even though you're replacing a couple of, I've always been skeptical about meal replacement, but I wanted to try it because I needed to change something. But now I'm having shakes instead. It gives you more energy. I think partly because you're getting the nutrients that you need. You're not just filling a gap with dead food, but also because you're giving your digestive system a break. Because we use a lot of energy breaking down food, so I don't see myself as on a diet. I don't want a diet. It's just something that's quick and easy to implement, where I'm getting good nutrients, and then in the evening I can have a nice knife and fork meal, and it also makes me appreciate the knife and fork meal a lot more.
Well, that's great. So again, for the audience, how can they reach out? Do you have a website they can go to, or just on social media? What's the best way for the audience to connect?
You can just find my personal Facebook, Chris Greenbank, or like I say, Instagram, rediscovering_Chris, or they could go straight to www.rediscoveryou.info.
Okay. And also LinkedIn.
Yeah, and LinkedIn as well. Chris Greenbank on LinkedIn. Right. Thank you. Keep correcting me.
That's great. Well, I appreciate your being a guest with us today, Chris, and sharing your story with us. And I'm glad that you're back to being healthy and having more energy and better mental clarity.
Well, thank you very much for having me and inviting me. I really appreciate it.
All right, Chris. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Stop Dieting podcast. Remember to like and subscribe so you won't miss a single episode to get more healthy eating and lifestyle tips. Motivate and inspire others to be healthy by sharing with your friends.